Hey Mom, can I have a quarter? Hey, Fragorn here with a League Starter build guide for Path of Exile 2 Third Edict, Abyssal, the new the new patch and League mechanic stuff that's coming out for Path of Exile 2 on next Friday. Week from today. So, what I've been looking at is Lich, and the reason I'm looking at Lich is because it's kind of the opposite of what I normally like. I've been a bottom left corner of the tree player for quite a while. Really had fun with my Smith of Kitava build last league as a starter. Did great with it, but it's getting nerfed quite a bit. Looks like a lot of stuff down there is getting nerfed, although slams seem like they're getting buffed. Um, the skill points down here kind of stink. Um, the deepest tower, the helm that made my build work, is being taken out of the game. So a lot of stuff down there is not going to be there and not going to be good. So I'm going to try to avoid this part of the tree for this patch. So I thought I'll come up here and I'll play minions. I have never really played a minion build very seriously. Um, First, when this first game came out, whatever patch 1 or point 1, whatever you call it, um, I did play a minion build with the arsonists shooting fire bombs through the flame walls on a infernalist. Um, it was effective, but it was kind of horrible. Um, Constantly spamming the firewalls and having all the cancer on the screen with that orange, those horrible orange circles all over the place. Anyway, didn't really like it. Had no problem pushing it into red maps with very little investment or effort. So it worked, and it's it minions are going to work even better this league. So everything got buffed, and attack minions got buffed so well that you don't feel forced to use your skeletal arsonists through flame walls to make them work. So my goal is to not have any of those flame walls on the screen at all. Mainly using melee attack based minions, I think. So why Lich? Why minions? Minions got massively buffed. Let's see. We have Spectres and Tame Beast companions both got a 25% more damage buff across the board on all levels, just flat out 25% more. I've never actually even summoned a Spectre because I didn't play a minion build at all in the last patch. I played a Smith and a crossbow guy. Um, so it'll be cool to see how that goes. Spectres are interesting. Um, Attack based minions got enormously buffed because they now don't need accuracy. So they're 100% chance to hit on all their attacks. You don't need accuracy on your gear for minions. You don't need any accuracy points on your passive tree. You just don't have to waste anything on minion accuracy anymore at all. That's very good. Um, there's a new skill called Ravenous Swarm. Where do I have that here? Patch notes. Ravenous Swarm. While this is active, it's a persistent buff that goes on you. While it's active, enemies are nearby, swarms just shoot out. So if you have it active and enemies are near you, wasps or some kind of other swarm comes out of your body to pursue enemies. They're untargetable, so it's just like free damage. They attack and poison enemies in the swarm. So they're always going to hit because there's no missing for minions anymore. And they're going to do poison. I don't know. Poison damage scares me in this game because you can't scale it like you can in Path of Exile 1 with just applying infinite numbers of poisons and having, 10 poisons doing damage, 20 poisons doing more damage, 30 doing way more, 40 doing way more, and then 500 doing a ton. That's how poison is mainly scaled in Path of Exile. Not so in Path of Exile 2. I think targets can only have one poison on them unless you invest into more poisons, which then really lowers the duration. So poison so far seems kind of horrible in this game. Who knows? But anyway, it's a new skill gem that'll work with summoning minions. They are minions, so they'll scale with minion stuff. So you got that going for you. The ascendancy changes didn't nerf any of the good notes on Lich that I would use for minions if I'm going to build a Lich, which I'm going to. So on the right side, these four, well, we'll really say two because we don't care about the smalls, but the smalls are good. 3% maximum life is pretty dang good. These two did not get changed. So you got Soulless Form, 10% of damage taken bypasses energy shield. That's good. Anytime you can split where damage is going, it's easier to mitigate it. Have it taken from mana, have it taken from energy shield, have it taken from other sources. It's always good to spread it around. That makes it smaller. No inherent mana regeneration. That's downside, but you regenerate mana equal to 6% of your maximum life per second. So you scale up a little life, and you have good mana regen. You also have a little bit of damage reduction. Now that damage reduction gets even better when you take the next one, Eternal Life. Your life cannot change while you have energy shield. So 10% of the damage that's bypassing your energy shield is gone. That's just moved out. So as long as you keep some energy shield, you have 10% damage reduction going at all times. Very strong. Offensively, Necromantic Conduit. While you're not on low mana, you and allies in your presence have Unholy Might. Lose 5% of mana per second is the downside. While the 5% of mana per second, if you have less mana than you have life, it's pretty much completely erased by the regenerating mana equal to 6% of your life per second. So the downside is handled by this upside. Unholy Might gives your minions and you and allies in your presence. Unholy Might gives you 30% damage as extra chaos. So if you're hitting physical based attacks, your skeleton's whacking with a club, it's doing 10 physical damage. Well, now it's doing 10.3 damage because the 0.3 is coming on. Let's do 100 and make it easier math. Skeleton's whacking for 100 physical damage. All of a sudden he's doing 130 damage because he's doing 30 damage as chaos and 100 as his physical. If they're shooting a fireball that does 100 damage, it's 100 fire and 30 chaos on the fireball. So just 30 extra on every single attack. It's just across the board. Very nice buff. I don't plan on going up into Blackened Heart, which is the taking Unholy Might further, because to make this useful, you have to scale mana. So 100 mana gives you 4%. Say you get it to 1,000, that's 40%. That takes your Unholy Might, which is 30, and he adds another 40% on top of it, which takes it up to about another 12%, which is 42. You can obviously really increase your Unholy Might buff by going all into mana, but that's not what I plan to do with this build, so I'm not going to do it. Last ascendancy for maps is Rupture the Soul. So this will work so good in Abyssal, which is the new league mechanic. You're just going to be sitting near a pit and monsters are going to be pouring out of it. The more monsters in the area, the more Rupture the Soul is effective. So cursed enemies killed by you or allies, so when your minions count, if they're cursed, have a 33% chance to explode, doing a quarter of their maximum life as chaos damage. So you're going to get the pop, chaos pops on the screen. Your job will be to stand by the pit, apply probably Despair Curse, because that's a good one for chaos damage, and that got massively buffed this league too. I think it used to be like 28% chaos penetration. Now it's 49. So very big buff to how much damage you can make allies take with Despair. So trying to get a lot of chaos damage into the build, use Despair Curse, pops. The Despair Curse also will affect the pop because that is a chaos damage pop. So a lot of synchronizing things going here to make this work good. So pits work good. Despair's working good with the Unholy Might and the Explode. And it's just an all-around good build. So you got a little offense over here. You got your defense over here. Now, a couple of other changes in the patch notes are unearth constructs. So they're those little, you cast a little AoE spell on top of a corpse and it summons a little skeleton dog looking thing, runs around, bites or claws enemies, has a short duration, dies really easily, hard to keep up without some weapon swap shenanigans and things like that during bigger fights. So kind of a pain in the butt to use. But with the change to unearth now, you can cast it on your own dead skeletal minions as they're in their reviving timer. So you can have a pretty steady way of getting constructs up. So that's nice. They might be really good. And if they are really good, I might drop this and just take Crystalline Phylactery because I won't need to explode as much if I'm using a kind of a horde of minions coming out of unearth. Also at endgame when you're fighting harder bosses and you're not having enemies to explode because they're cursed, you may drop these two just to focus on bosses pick up crystalline phylactery. So good choices there. I can't do anything with the skill tree because this isn't the skill tree anymore. The new one is got hundreds of new nodes, and I don't know what the pathing's going to be. Nobody does, so you can't really guess on that. But with the build concept, things you're going to scale is minion damage, spirit. Try to get as much spirit as you can, and whether this is coming from gear or passives, it's all going to improve your character. Minion damage, spirit. With our build, we're going to want some life and energy shield as our main defensive scalers. Maybe minion duration, etc. Things like that. So you don't have to look for accuracy anymore if you're using attack-based minions. Be very good. You don't have to have conjured firewalls all over the screen if you're using attack-based minions that aren't ranged, if they're melee especially. So that'll be a very nice looking playstyle. With the big buff to specters, who knows? There's hundreds of new monsters too. There might just be some awesome specters you just flat out love and want to use. That's good. We have the companion tame beasts from the Huntress tree. Those are awesome. They provide amazing auras if you get the right ones. Like the haste aura is so good. So the build concept for me is to get a bunch of pleasant looking minions. Don't really care so much because they'll all do damage now that they have good accuracy or no accuracy, can't evade. Get their extra chaos damage, cause explodey, and then have the specters probably support them, or if you find really good damage specters, use a few of those as your main minion army and just support them with other stuff. So lots of ways to go with this, but they'll all work. I know skeletal brutes and skeletons and reavers and snipers or whatever you're using for your minion army will work because it worked back in the day and they've all gotten buffed. So they're going to be better than they were before. I know these Lich nodes for defense will be strong. They're just flat out good defensive nodes. So plus playing minions is a safe playstyle. You can just avoid stuff for the most part, and you can have steady damage coming from your minion army. So you don't have to get into position to do damage and still do damage and risk being hit. You can just get in good position to not get hit and let your minions do all the work for you. Other stuff with the league is the lineage gems got a nice buff, or not a nice buff. They got introduced into the game, and two of them I saw that I know would be good for this build. I don't think they're all posted yet, but the Ralic, it's not Rack, Rakata or Rakatia. It's the one that Rakiata, was that what it's called? It's the one that inverts your reservation. So I'm thinking more leaning towards melee physical damage skills, but that might not be the best play. And with minion army, you're just able to just flip on a switch just by changing what main minions are in your army to what kind of damage you're doing. So with this lineage gem, Rock Attack or Rakiata, I can't remember what it's called, something with an R, it inverts 100% of an enemy's resistance. So, elemental resistance. So if you're doing fire damage and you're hitting a mob for 100 damage, and that mob, we'll say, has 50 fire resistance, at base, your 100 hit fireball turns into a 50 damage hit fireball because their resistance cuts out half of it. Now with this Rock Attack lineage thing in there, their resistance turns from 50 to negative 50. So you not only do 100% of the damage of your 100 damage fireball, you also do a 50% multiplier on top of that, so you're doing 150 damage. So this turns your, depending upon how, and some mobs might have 75 resistance. So the more they would hurt you with resistance, the more you hurt them by inverting it. Very, very strong. So that's not a minion support gem. It's any kind of elemental damage support gem. Very good. But if you find your minion army to be elemental with like skeletal mages or those ice chuckers or whatever else is the way to go, and you like that playstyle better, That's a very good support gem for you. The other one is Diala's, which is the meta gem supports from Path of Exile 1, all rolled into one. So you get Empower, Enlighten, and Enhance all in one gem. So you're increasing gem levels, you're increasing mana reservation efficiency, and you're increasing quality. And there's some very good qualities on some of the minions. So getting a gem level on minions also is good. And reservation means you have to save the spirit. So you might be able to summon an extra one of that type of thing with that support gem and get a gem level and get better quality. So very, very strong. Two of the ones that I saw. A couple of other thoughts from the patch note. Like I said earlier in the video, avoid the bottom left corner. I think this league, it's just trouble. A lot of nerfs in the Smith of Katava, so he was very strong, I thought, last league, and I don't know. I don't trust it. But bottom right, there's going to be a bunch of stuff in here that goes with evasion called deflection. So playing an evasion-based character, whether it's mercenary, huntress, ranger, or creeping down with the monk, I think you can't go wrong with that either. Deflection is just better spell suppression. So in Path of Exile 1, you have spell suppression. You can get up to like your normal amount is you can get a 100% chance to have your spells do half damage, so 50% spell suppression. So just knocking off half the damage of all spells you're hit by, whether they're huge or little, it's crazy good. It's so strong, it's unbelievable. This is even better. I think the cap that you're looking at here probably is 40-ish%, so a little lower, but it's all damage. Not suppressing, but deflecting 40% of all damage from attacks and spells based off your evasion. So you stack evasion, you get more deflection based on your evasion, you get very tanky. It's just going to be an outstanding increase in power for that part of the tree. So can't go wrong with that. Reason I'm going with minions because I know this will work with. I just can't screw it up. I can use range minions, I can use melee minions, I can use elemental damage minions, I can use physical minions, I can use temporary minions, I can use permanent minions. They'll all function. It's just an easy play style. I have a big golf tournament on the league launch day next Friday. 3-day tournament for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I will not be able to play as much as I normally would on league launch. So I want my league launch to be mindless and effortless. So you plug in spirit, you plug in minions, you walk around, they take care of the campaign for you, they take care of early mapping for you. They should farm Abyss very well with this build. So I think I should be caught up in no time just because I'm using a simple build. Let me see, any other thoughts on this? Covered the Spectre buffs, covered the minion accuracy buffs, covered the buff to despair, covered the fact that my ascendancy is not nerfed. It's very good. So I think this is going to be a no-brainer win build. Oh, one piece of gear. If you're playing this build, you should absolutely get. I pulled it up on trade here. It's the Enfolding Dawn. So it's a level 0 chest. You can equip this right away. And with the new asynchronous trading, you should be able to just buy this in the first couple hours of your gameplay for fairly cheap. A couple of results. I don't know what they'll cost, but they'll be cheap because it's a very common item. You maybe find one too in the first few zones you fight in. Gives you 100 spirit, so that's what you're looking for. The rest of the stats are meh, but that 100 spirit is big. So you get that. I think you can probably equip 3 more skeletons or something with that, which would make your clearing and early campaigning just great. You will replace this later, obviously, with better stats on your armor. I think you can only get like 45 or something spirit on chest armor when it's rare and has other good stats, but that's going to be you're going to want better stats. This thing stinks other than the 100 spirit. But anyway, it's a good thing to pick up for minion leveling. So that's my thoughts. I can't do more. I'll do a POB, like I said, once I have this going on a couple days into the league, put it out for people. Let you know which way I go, if it's elemental or physical attack, melee build based minions, more specters, less specters, more skeletons. I'll do some testing. Maybe my Ravenous Swarm is just outstanding, and I scale that up, and I just walk around and swarm everything. You don't know. You don't know what's going to be good when you haven't seen it yet. Maybe the changes to the trees make melee minions awesome. Maybe they make the changes to the tree make elemental spellcasting minions awesome. You just don't know. So we'll see what we get. I'll do a POB, and I guarantee if you play this build with this ascendancy and the curse and pop explode playstyle, you'll be fine. You'll get into red maps very successfully with pretty much any kind of gear you're wearing. So cheap, easy league starter. If you like this content at all, please hit the like and subscribe down below. It'll be very helpful with the channel, and thanks for watching.